They laughed when I said I'd become king of the pirates. They laughed at the scars. They laughed at the hunger. They laughed at the stubborn kid who refused to kneel. But they never understood one thing. I don't fight because I'm fearless. I fight because I've felt fear wrap around my throat and squeeze until I couldn't breathe. I felt the ocean drag me down into darkness. I felt my body shatter. I've watched my friends fall. And every time the world whispered, "Give up," I answered with a grin. You think strength is about muscles. You think power is about titles. You think being a captain means never doubting yourself? No. Strength is standing back up when your legs are screaming. Power is protecting someone even when your hands are shaking. And being a captain means carrying the weight of everyone's dreams, even when your own heart feels like it's breaking. There were nights when the sea was quiet, too quiet. When the stars looked like they were watching me fail. When the wind carried memories of loss I couldn't escape. I've lost battles. I've lost blood. I've lost people I thought I'd never have to say goodbye to. And in those moments, I wasn't a hero. I was just a boy. A boy staring at his reflection in the dark water, asking himself if he was enough. Was I strong enough? Was I worthy enough? Was I selfish for chasing a dream this big? The world doesn't care about your dream. It will crush it without hesitation. The sea doesn't care about your tears. It will drown you without mercy. Enemies don't care about your past. They only care about breaking your future. So what do you do when everything hurts? When your fists are bleeding? When your crew is counting on you? When the world says you can't win? You smile. Not because it's easy, but because your will is louder than your pain. Every scar on my body tells a story. Every bruise is a reminder. I chose this path. No one forced me to chase freedom. No one forced me to stand against tyrants. No one forced me to shout my dream to the sky. I chose it. And when you choose something with your whole heart, you don't get to quit halfway. There were moments when I couldn't move, when my body refused to listen, when my vision blurred and the ground felt colder than ever before. That's when the doubt creeps in. That's when the voice inside says, maybe this is your limit. But limits are lies told by fear. I've been knocked down by giants, outmatched by monsters, outnumbered by armies. And every single time, I got back up. Not because I knew I would win, but because I refused to stay down. You think being strong means never crying? I've cried. I've screamed until my voice cracked. I've punched the ground in frustration. I've felt helpless in ways that words can't explain. But here's the truth. No one talks about. Pain doesn't make you weak. Quitting does. The ocean taught me something brutal. It doesn't bend for you. It doesn't slow down for you. It doesn't care how tired you are. If you stop swimming, you sink. So I keep swimming. Through doubt. Through loss. Through storms that try to tear my ship apart. Because somewhere beyond that horizon, there's freedom. And freedom is worth every scar. You see this grin? It's not ignorance. It's defiance. It says, you can hit me. It says, you can break my bones. It says, you can try to crush my dream. But you will never crush my will. There were enemies who thought they ended me. They saw me fall, and believed that was the end of my story. But falling isn't the end. Staying down is. Every time I stood back up, something changed. Not the world, me. I became stronger, not just in body, but in resolve. Because strength isn't built in victory. It's forged in defeat. In the moment when you taste the dirt, when your vision fades, when everything inside you screams to surrender, and you choose to rise anyway. That's power. The world calls me reckless. They call me stupid. They call me impossible. Good. Because impossible is just a word used by people who are too afraid to try. I don't need everyone to believe in me. I just need to believe in myself. And when I look at my crew, when I see their faith, when I remember every promise I've made, I know one thing. I cannot afford to break. Not now. Not ever. So I train. I fight. I endure. Until it's done. Until the sea itself acknowledges my name. Until every chain is shattered. Until every friend who stood beside me can say it was worth it. You want to know the secret? There is no secret. Just relentless will. Just choosing to move forward. Even when your body begs you to stop. Just refusing to let your dream die quietly. Because dreams don't die from failure. They die from fear. And I refuse to be afraid. So let the storms come. Let the enemies rise. Let the world test me again and again. I will stand. I will fight. I will chase my freedom until my last breath. Because I didn't come this far to turn back. I didn't bleed for nothing. I didn't lose for nothing. I didn't suffer for nothing. Every tear, every scar, every broken bone. It all leads forward, toward the horizon, toward the impossible, toward the throne they said I could never reach. And if the sea itself stands in my way, I'll split it with my will. So tell me, when your body is broken, when your dream feels impossible, when the world is laughing at your ambition, will you sink quietly, or will you rise and declare your name to the storm? Then listen carefully, because this is where most people disappear. Not at the beginning, not when the dream is exciting, not when everyone is cheering. They disappear at the end. When it's ugly, when it's silent, when no one is clapping anymore. That's where legends are separated from excuses. You don't see the final stretch coming. It doesn't look glorious. It looks like exhaustion. It feels like isolation. It sounds like your own heartbeat pounding in your ears while the world goes quiet. This is the part where your body is already at its limit. Your hands shake. Your breathing burns. Your vision narrows. And the only thing still standing is your will. No spotlight. No applause. Just you. And a promise you made to yourself. Do you remember that promise? The one you whispered when nobody believed in you? The one you made when you were tired of being small? The one that scared you because it was bigger than your circumstances? This is where you either honor it or betray it. Because at the end, strength isn't loud. It's stubborn. It's that quiet voice that says, just one more step, even when your legs are numb, even when the world feels heavier than ever, even when every failure replays in your mind like a curse. You take one more step, and then another, not because it's easy, but because stopping would hurt more. People think the Pirate King's path is fire and glory. They don't see the doubt. They don't see the nights staring at the horizon, wondering if you'll ever reach it. They don't see the weight of every crew member's dream resting on your shoulders. A captain doesn't get the luxury of collapse. A leader bleeds privately and stands publicly. And when you reach the breaking point, when your fists can barely close, when the enemy thinks you're finished, that's when you decide who you really are. Not when you're winning, but when you're cornered, when there's nowhere left to run, when surrender would be easy. That's where destiny is carved. Right there, in the silence before the final push. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need guaranteed victory. You need resolve. Because the sea respects only one thing: those who refuse to drown. So if your dream is still alive, if there's even a spark left in your chest, if there's even one reason you started this journey, don't you dare quit now. You've come too far. You've endured too much. You've survived storms that should have ended you. And you're still here. Still breathing, still fighting. So let the final wave rise. Let it tower over you. Let it threaten to crush everything you've built. Pause. Breathe and smile, because this is the moment where pain turns into power, where doubt turns into defiance, where the boy who was laughed at becomes the man who cannot be stopped. This isn't about proving them wrong anymore. It's about proving yourself right. You said you would make it. You said you would rise. You said you wouldn't quit until it's done. So finish it. With blood in your mouth, with fire in your eyes, with a will that refuses to break. Because at the end of the storm, only one question will matter. When everything in you wanted to give up, did you?